As children, Spencer and Zach built a robot made of junk. A magic bolt of lightning brought it to life. In 2020, the robot was attacked and destroyed. Before all was lost, they uploaded its consciousness to the nearest thing they could find, their entertainment variety podcast program. The podcast is alive. The podcast is SAZETU.
We wanna welcome you to SAZETU. The show's alive because of SAZETU.
Nice.
SAZETU is brought to you by Maine Spirits. Learn more about the delicious spirits they import into the great state of Maine and the cocktails you can make with them at mainspirits.com or by downloading their app for your smartphone or visiting them on Instagram at Maine_spirits. Promotional consideration by State Theater Portland. Visit statetheaterportland.com for an up-to-date schedule of virtual events and upcoming announcements as we get closer to normalcy. And Sun Tiki Studios, a top-notch rehearsal and performance facility located on Forest Avenue in Portland, Maine. Learn more at suntikistudios.com.
Welcome to Happy Hour, starring Telly Savalas on ABC. Happy Hour is brought to you by Maine Spirits. Maine Spirits bring all of the delicious cocktail fixins, aka liquor, into the great state of Maine. And so every week, I endeavor to show you how to make a delicious cocktail with one of those liquors or liqueurs. And we've been working on Chinar lately, and that will continue this week. Chinar, spelled Sinar. Pronounced 100 different ways, but now we know what I'm talking about, right? Chinar, an aperitif made primarily from artichoke. Bitter, sweet, kind of in the Campari world, but not as citrusy. So, last week we learned how to make a Chinar julep, and this week we're going to learn how to make a Chinargroni. Get it? Chinargroni. That means it's going to be easy for you to make and delicious. So, for tools, you're going to need a rocks glass, a bar spoon, a paring knife, and a jigger. And for ingredients, we'll need gin, Chinar, sweet vermouth, and an orange for garnish. Let's build this thing. In your rocks glass full of ice, add the following: 1 ounce Chinar, 1 ounce gin. What kind of gin? I would use Bimini because I love it. And then 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Stir until cold, and then garnish with an orange twist. It's that simple. That's why the Negroni style drinks, the equal parts, are so fun, because they're easy to make and it's really hard to fuck up, and they always taste good. Will be a little bit on the sweeter side of things, so maybe you want 1, maybe 2. Don't go bananas with this one, because you don't want to be talking to Wilford Brimley, if you know what I'm talking about. You can learn more about this drink and other drinks at mainspirits.com. or download their app for your smartphone, and that thing is a wealth of information. What to make, how to make it, what's in it, where to get it. You can follow them on Instagram at Maine_spirits, and as always, we encourage you to drink deliciously and responsibly.
I am SAZETU. Welcome.
Thanks, SAZETU. How are you? Hi, hello.
Hello, SAZETU.
Good morning, Zach.
Did say hi to me. I said, good morning, Gil.
Good morning, Spencer.
There we are. Well, I had an idea. Here's the genesis of the whole thing. I get most of my ideas first thing in the morning. And Zach, you and I are discussing this. You get them usually at night?
Yeah, part of the reason I have a hard time falling asleep is that I can't shut my brain down. That's like when all the ideas start flowing at me.
Man, I'll tell you what. If we're honest talking on this show, which we do, I'm tired because I did not get the sleep last night.
Well, I can't tell that from the sound of your voice, so you're faking
Is that true?
it well. It's true.
I was a little nervous about recording today because
You were afraid I was going to judge you? What's up, tired boy? Oh, somebody a little sleepy?
Yes, I was afraid of your devastating commentary. No, I'm just tired. But, yeah, so the other day I woke up and I had an idea for a show, which is this show. Welcome. And it was annoying words. I, for some reason, had a classic annoying word stuck in my head.
Nuclear?
No, it was currency. That's just, did you say nuclear?
I said nuclear.
Nuclear, yeah.
Or nuclear. Yeah, there's, that's another one where There's multiple mispronunciations.
So yeah, annoying words. And then so I put a little thing on the intertubes, and I was really blown away by how many people wrote back, basically saying, what's your most annoying word or phrase? It turned into phrases. So this show is annoying words and phrases.
Do you think we would have gotten as many responses if we said, what do you love?
Lord, no.
Okay, just checking.
No.
But what annoys you? The internet fires up.
Tapped into that hater energy. Ooh, sorry, I was just having a sip.
That's all right. What are you sipping on?
Four Roses. Small batch.
You didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you what I'm sipping on.
Oh, I was about to, but yeah.
Okay. For Christmas, my younger brother bought me a bottle of Uncle Nearest whiskey. Have you heard of this?
Uncle Nearest?
Yep.
No.
So it's a Tennessee whiskey, and supposedly this Uncle Nearest was the guy who pretty much perfected the Tennessee whiskey process.
That's a bold claim.
It is. I mean, they have a whole history on their website, like where the name came from, but he started doing it as a slave, and then stayed on where he was working after the war, and kept brewing bourbon. But supposedly it's like, where Jack Daniels got their process from and all that. And this company has, I'm not sure the history of the company. They just talk about the history of their recipe. But it's good. It's good whiskey.
Remember before you explained that, and I was like, that's a bold claim. I'd like to walk that back. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because actually it kind of checks out.
Yeah. I did not realize that it was you were drinking bourbon brewed with good moral fiber. So some words I find annoying, Zach, are as follows. I'm just going to rifle off a few, see how they rub you. That's an annoying phrase.
Yes.
Steward and stewardess. Nah. I read the term the other day, fatty corpuscle, and I was reminded how much I hate that combo of words, but the most guilty party in that two-word group is corpuscle.
Yeah.
Whew. Currency. So currency was the word I was telling you. I don't know why, since high school. Currency. Also, pinch. I don't like the word pinch, and I don't like to be pinched. That's one of those words that is, it's pretty annoying sounding, but also the association. Right?
Yeah. It's one of those words, there's a lot of words. Like, I don't mind the word pinch because it sounds like what it is, but I do not like being pinched. So I guess I could see why it would annoy you.
You're in a pinch. You're being pinched. The only good pinch is like a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Poncho. It's kind of, I wrote down pinch and then poncho came up. And in no way attempting to be nationalistic here, I don't prefer the word nacho.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I sure do love a plate of nachos.
Love them.
Yeah.
Love the product.
Yeah.
That might be like an association, like through a lot of branding and stuff, like nacho flavored nachos. I don't know.
Yeah. Or what do you call cheese that is not yours? No, that's a terrible way to phrase the joke. The punchline is in it.
No, that was...
Or is it?
No. I guess so. What do you call cheese that does not belong to you?
There you go. Nachos.
Another word, while we're in Food Town, brunch. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, generally, I'm a fan of word combinations to make a new word.
Like shart?
Like shart. It's a great word. I mean, it's disgusting, but it is what it is.
Yeah. It's the perfect one word for that.
Yeah. Or like we used to refer to our, collection of guitars as the guitarsenal.
Sure.
Or when you're overdubbing guitar harmonies, they're guitarmonies.
Guitarmonies, yeah. Yeah.
I'm down with that. But yeah, brunch is I'm sure it was a lot of fun at one point, but now there's just like this weird hipster association with it.
There's a restaurant here in Portland called the Brelu Cafe.
Yeah, breakfast lunch.
breakfast, lunch, but they predated brunch being like a thing. And they definitely predated brunch being a verb. That's when it really bothers me. Brunching, like saying summer, as in like, oh, I summered with Zach on the vineyard. I don't think so.
Nope.
I spent the summer with my pal. I vacationed with Zach.
We summered together.
I once said that phrase, like I was just trying it out in front of our friend John Nolan. And did he hand it to me. And he wouldn't stop. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know why I said that. He's like, summered? Really? You summered there? He was so mad. It's like he needed to do that just to make sure we could be friends after. Like, if you're turning into this, we might be done here.
Our relationship may be winding down.
Yeah, might be just wrapping up. Minced. That's kind of like pinch, minced meat.
Something about the when the letter C is used with this sound, I think, because currency, corpuscle, although that does have an S in front of it. Minced. Yeah, it's kind of gross, and it just sounds oldie timey, like minced meat. And
yeah,
like
minced.
That.
It's like, although I do like it in the context of words. Don't mince your words. That's nice.
Yep.
Flange. It's just a sloppy word to me. Flange. Although it does kind of sound like it looks, but it does not sound like it sounds as an effect. Like if a flanger should be called like a wow. That's what it should be called.
It should be called a wower.
Wow. Yeah, but they probably call it the wow, but like the Dunlop's like, no, we get the wow pedal over here.
Yeah, you can't have your wower.
Well, now it should be called the Queen machine because who used flange better than Queen?
There you go.
Nobody. And I don't like the term cool beans because it sounds like it's going to be said from somebody who is in your class that assumes that they're in charge of everything. You know?
Fortunately, I don't think that's a phrase I've heard in a long time. But yeah,
What?
I'm with you on that.
Yep. Cool beans. Cool beans. Hey, were you able to get those papers printed up at X copy like I asked? Yeah, I did that. Cool beans. Thanks a lot.
It's like, why are you talking down to me, but trying to make it sound like you're my pal by saying a phrase that I hate?
Yes. Yeah, that's like the most lethal kind of person that will do that too.
Yeah.
Like you have to be so that red flag goes up. It's like, boop. Nope. You got to put yourself in a compartment immediately and seal the door. Do not let any of that in on you. It will burn you.
It will burn you.
Cool beans. The passive aggressive micromanager. Yeah. Woo, that is hard. That is hard. What are some words that chap your ass, bud?
Well, I'm glad you've asked. I find the words that annoy me most are the words that just sound disgusting. Like just the sound of the word, just like, and almost all of those have to do with liquid or gel or like being wet. Like even the word wet is disgusting. My pants are wet. Ugh, gross. Disgusting.
My pants.
Why is my shirt all wet? Ugh. Wet. So gross.
Wet.
And on that same note, we have damp.
Yeah.
Dripping, I don't like.
Yeah.
Drip, I don't mind. But dripping is just so gross. Ointment.
Let's rub some ointment on that.
Yeah.
So you want to? I can see your ointment and raise you some behind the curtain med language because my mom used to be a nurse.
Oh, go on.
Ointment, or at least in her era of nursing, which was some time ago, when abbreviated, both in print and verbally, is called ung.
Yeah.
Ung. As if ointment wasn't gross enough.
Let's
What
give
could
it something
be
more
grosser?
disgusting.
Because apparently the term greasy shit was already taken.
Well, have you tried rubbing some greasy shit on that burn?
We're gonna get some triple antibiotic greasy shit for this. It's looking a little infected. It's pussy. That's a word that I don't like.
Yeah, that's
Pus.
a gross one.
Yeah, but you were saying...
Oh, I was saying phlegm, which is just as gross as pus.
Phlegm is as gross as pus, and not only does it sound gross, and I do want to talk about whether or not these sound gross, because once you experience them, how could you disassociate them? But phlegm, not only is it a gross word because of what it means, but it's an ugly word with an unnecessary G.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost the worst part, even if I didn't know what phlegm was, just seeing the way it's spelled, I'm just like, ugh, gross.
The G represents like a gag. Phlegm. Oh, I just grossed myself out with that last part.
Yes. Well, I also have dollop.
Dollop.
Like,
I do like dollop.
Why don't you put a dollop of greasy shit on that?
Well, if you say like that, I don't like dollop. But like a dollop of shart was not good. But a dollop of whipped butter, whew, I'll take it. A dollop of whipped cream. A dollop of sour cream.
Yeah, I just don't want a dollop of it.
You want a scoop.
Yeah.
You're more of a scoop guy.
A small portion, perhaps.
Oh, portion. That's another word. That's one of the old school words. My sister and I agree on currency and portion. And the sentence I used to say is a small portion of American currency.
A dollop of American currency.
Yeah.
Ugh. I also have slurp, mucus,
Mucus.
squirt.
Mucus is gross because it's also like pus. Mucus.
A
Pus.
squirt of mucus.
He was squirting mucus until which point my friend Flem went over and slurped up a dollop.
My friend Phlegm. I also have secrete and discharge.
Yeah, those are both gross.
It's weird. Yeah, discharge. It's like I was discharged from the military. Fine. I have an oily discharge.
Of greasy
secreting and sometimes squirting or dripping.
I have some greasy shit secreting from me. My pants are wet with the secretion of this greasy shit.
Ugh.
They're damp. If you go down the legs, they are less wet and they're more damp. But up towards ground zero, they're dripping.
They're dripping all over my brunch nachos. my mixed meat.
You have to make it about food.
And even onto my cool beans.
Oh, cool beans. Oh, you sharded? Cool beans.
Well, what do you say we get into some words that were brought to us by our loyal followers?
Yes.
Wonderful.
This is the first time we have had like viewer mail,
That's
so
right.
to speak. So I'm looking forward to it.
I am Britt Martin. Sorry, at I am Britt Martin.
We'll just say they're all at.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, let's get
These
that
are
out of the
all
way early.
Instagram handles.
Facetious. She says, I hate it. Also not really a fan of that word.
I don't like facetious, although it's functional, but it does, when I say it, it sounds like feces, which is poop, and that's gross.
Yeah, and that's if I'm just messing around, I'm not, or being silly, or however you want to say it. I don't want it to sound like poop. Christopher D. Boudon?
Sure.
Sure.
Like your French
Bleu.
accent, you just turn your mouth into like a small tube.
Boudon. Christopher underscore D underscore Boudon doesn't like gallivant. That to me is like pinch. It's a word that kind of sounds like what it is. Oh, I was gallivanting around.
Yeah, that's why it's aggravating, because that was your go-to voice for that word.
Yeah, which is
And I've only ever used it ironically.
yeah. I don't think I've ever used it in a sentence where I'm not doing that voice.
Or like that voice is implied when you say gallivant. Oh, I was gallivanting about with Jones last night. Said me, never seriously.
We
also,
summered together gallivanting.
Oh
here and
man,
there.
we used to, when we summer, we gallivant.
Kel-Fatima does not like ointment. She's there with me.
She's not a fan of greasy shit.
Yeah, that's right. Lauren Sophia does not like bunt cake. She asks, like, who comes up with this shit?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Who comes up with bunt cake? That's not like gross. That's like phlegm. With that
Yeah,
D in the
it's
middle.
exactly what I was going to say. Bunt is to desserts as phlegm is to bodily fluids.
Yeah. Also,
Bunt.
isn't a bunt cake the circular cake with the hole in the middle?
I have no idea.
I think it is. And then that's just like, ugh, is that what a bunt looks like?
Bunt. Bundit. 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 Bunt cake.
Bunt cake.
Bunt.
A phlegmy bunt cake.
Did you say a flabby?
I said phlegmy, but either
Phlegmy,
way, it's
flabby
gross.
bunt cake. I'll put a dollop of frosting on my bunt cake.
Gross. Kate Pose doesn't like and whatnot. And this is and Bub, that also drives her crazy.
Sup, Bob?
What's up, Bub? All
Hey,
right,
Bob.
there, Bub. You got
Yeah,
it, Bub.
Bob. I don't mind if you say it in the yeah, Bob.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like being a bub.
Bob. Bubby.
But I don't mind and whatnot.
And whatnot. I have to say, Bub is the nickname my parents gave me when I was a kid.
So it has
Yeah.
an association for you that means my parents love me.
That's right. So
Whereas-
Kate Pose hates my parental love.
Yeah, that's right.
It drives her nuts.
It drives her nuts how much your parents love you.
Well, thanks, Kate. That'll come up on the couch this week. This week on therapy. What happened last week? Mr. Boots, our friend Matt Cosby, tremendous bass player,
Tremendous
a great photographer, and also is playing a lot of guitar lately. Have you seen him online?
I haven't seen that, but I would wager that he's great at it because he's
Tearing
pretty
ass.
much good at everything he does. He
He really is. He is a what's the word I'm looking for? Renaissance man.
There you go.
Which is a term that I learned from our all common friend at Hutch Heelan.
Who used to refer to you as a Renaissance man.
That was the first time I heard it. I was like, what does that even mean? And I looked it up and I was like, that's inappropriately big compliment. Please rescind.
We'll
Matt,
appropriately direct it toward Matt, though.
I can say that about Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can too. If Matt said it about himself, though, that would be a different story. But Matt, the Renaissance man, at renaissanceman.mrboots, says, I loathe it when people call me hun. I had to request that my mom stop calling me hun. Was like nails on a chalkboard for some reason. Hun. I fucking love it when people call me hun, especially at a diner. Warm up, hun. Warm up, hun. Hey, hun. You want some cake, hun?
You want some bunt cake, hun?
Want some bundit cake, hun?
Bundit cake?
Bundit cake? Bundit? And to me, it's just like a blanket term of affection from like a temporary mom.
But in his case, it was a permanent mom.
In his case, it was a permanent mom. I think about it in terms of like old diner. I'm old enough to have gone to old diners, you know, and that's what it makes me think of.
I went to 50s diners in the 50s.
Yeah. I went to 50s diners in the 50s before they were called 50s diners. They're just called diners. But there are lots of like, especially traveling around the country, as you and I have done, there are lots of places that are kind of frozen in time. Mm-hmm. And that character of Flo from the show Alice, right? Or Jan Hook's character from that Alec Baldwin skit
Oh, man.
on SNL.
One of the greatest SNL skits ever.
Agreed.
But that's never
like,
free.
yeah,
It makes you look cheap.
makes you look cheap. Phil Hartman, Kevin Nealon crushing in that episode. I'm going to say I understand that it makes Matt Cosby at Mr. Boots uncomfortable, so I will not call him hun. But if he called me hun, I would not hold him to a double standard. I would be fine with it.
And now that I know that he dislikes it, I will no longer call him Han, which I've been calling him for 30 years.
Well done. Very good. My wife wrote in and said beverage, accompanied by the deep frown emoji. Beverage.
Not the regular frown emoji, the deep one.
Yeah, not the crying one. It's not that bad. It's just like deeply saddens her. to hear beverage. I don't mind beverage. It's a hearty word to me.
I enjoy beverage because I enjoy beverages.
Exactly. Zach, can I offer you a frosty cold beverage?
Oh my God, yes.
SAZETU, would you like a frosty cold beverage? Who wouldn't? Well, it's a weird way to find out you're probably going to get a divorce. And why did you want to be divorced? Just like the word beverages. I don't even like joking about that.
No.
No, I really do enjoy being married, specifically to my wife.
Yeah, that works out great.
Yeah, that said, I have no other experience, so maybe other marriages are better. I don't know. Maybe other marriages are worse. This is my only one, but I like it.
Yeah, you're probably right. You probably should stop talking about that.
Yeah, fuck it. I have no interest in not being married to my wife. How about that? Zero.
Perfect.
The thought of it, like we get into a bit of a squabble last night. I won't lie. It wasn't an argument. There's many different grades, right? And if like huge argument is over here, squabble's like over here.
Squabble's a word I expect to see on this list.
Sure, it might be. But it was about, we were watching TV. We were actually watching Rogue One, and I fell asleep because apparently throughout the course of COVID, I've turned into an 80-year-old. Yeah. And I was just like, we finished dinner and we're like sitting there and I just fell asleep. Like, it wasn't like, I'm going to go to sleep now here on the couch in a sitting position, my head leaning back. It was like not up to me. I just fell asleep. But like in that moment, she became annoyed because here she is watching. Caitlin, my wife, when I met her, I said, are you homeschooled or 4-H? And she's like, 4-H. Why? I was like, because you can always tell. Like, she didn't have a TV growing up. It's just like kids who like march to the beat of a different drum. They weren't necessarily like you and I are pretty much like pop culture nerds, right? Not that we're glued to the TV per se. Like, I definitely played outside a lot, but I was definitely also glued to the TV. Caitlin, not so much. So that, like, I watched Alien with her for the first time. She'd never seen Alien.
Wow.
Alien. She had never seen the chestburster scene. She'd never seen it. And I got to watch my wife watch that. That said, at the end of the day, it's not important to her to watch things. But she'll do it for me, cue Tenacious D. And so I'm like, would you like to watch Rogue One? She's like, sure. I'm like, great, play, boom. When I fell asleep, for some reason last night, it was just like annoying because she tried to wake me up a bunch of times. I'm just like, asleep, like, and then she, I woke up. The time I finally woke up, she was venting that frustration at me. Like, I wouldn't sit here and watch this stupid movie. And I'm just like, I went upstairs like, haram fargag, we're trying to snap a flunk, like bump upstairs, like, why would, and woke up in the morning. I was like, we have, if that's like kind of our argument during COVID times after almost a year in quarantine together, we're doing pretty good. So #blessed. Where was I? My wife, Nabe-tastic doesn't like refreshment, kind of tied to beverage. Refreshments.
I'm also fine with that.
Yeah, but I get why they don't like it.
Yeah.
Refreshments. Let's go out to the kitchen. Yeah. Let's go out to the kitchen.
Let's go out to the kitchen.
And get a motherfucking snack. So, on that note, treat. That's a word from Kara Evans 91.
Treat, another word I'm absolutely fine with.
See, you're an association guy.
Yeah, I'd like to treat others the way I'd like to be treated. I enjoy a tasty treat. I like to treat myself to a movie. Treat myself to a beverage or a refreshment.
In the ongoing saga of you've never seen Parks and Rec, you're in for a real treat.
See, that's exactly where I like to hear the word treat used.
Treat yourself. Libations. Fully agree with you at Carl Wassman.
Also, I agree with that.
Ugh.
There's no need for that word.
Obnoxious.
I mean, why would you need libations when you already have treat, refreshment, and beverage?
Libations. So it's people who go on sabbatical have libations. Yeah. I met my colleague for some libations while on sabbatical in the Congo.
We were summering in the Hamptons, enjoying some libations.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Ugh. At I Love My Capacitor, who, Zach, designed our album cover for Open Letter to the Damned, as fast as.
And I love their Instagram handle just because capacitor, I think, is a great word, and it makes me think of the flux capacitor.
Yep, and it says I love in there. It's great. Positive. Great. Crushing it. Water chestnuts. Now we're moving into actual food items. Water chestnuts. Now, I wonder if that feels like association because neither water nor chestnut is a particularly annoying word, according to me.
Yeah, I've got no problem with either word.
Water chestnuts. Must be the actual crunch. They must have had too many cans of La Choy water chestnuts put on their American chop suey. Made, from the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. That's some 70s food right there. At CMD 4567 doesn't like the word pimento. I agree. It's kind of I don't like palomino either. Palomino. No, I take it back. I love it. Palomino. What a nice word to say. Pimento is the worst part of a martini. Am I wrong?
I actually never found a bad part about the martini.
Yeah. You know what the bad part is? The bottom.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Needing another martini.
At ChrisCast1 does not like Twizzler. Twizzler. Is it the food? Is it the word? Is it both? That sounds like association. But what does not, well, it kind of does sound like association. At C. Fernald dislikes the word foodie. And I do as well because of my association with who would say that.
Yeah, I don't like foodie for the same reason I don't like brunch. It's just like...
Yes, it's the same shit, different pile.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Well, at Bonobo Pizza...
shout out neighborhood friends.
What's that's up? Right. Yeah. Also, I looked up Bonobo earlier because I wanted to know the pronunciation, which I'm still not sure if I have correct. But bonobos are also known as or historically known as the pygmy chimpanzee.
Yes.
Did not know that until earlier.
That I did know, but I've never known how to pronounce it. Yeah. Bonobo. Bonobo.
But neighborhood joint, Bonobo Pizza, Portland, Maine. Mm-hmm. They do not like herd, which
So that's kind of grouped here with the food terms because if you don't mind me jumping in here,
please.
That's oft used in restaurants, and I actually like it because I find it's almost like civilian military speak.
Yeah, and they don't mean herd like a herd of buffalo. They mean like I hear you herd.
Right, HEARD.
Yeah. So
if someone's like, we're out of this, heard, I mean, I still use that to this day.
Yeah.
And I get why they don't like it, though.
I like that. It's like a 10-4 or understood or...
Yep.
Yeah.
Copy that.
Copy
Roger.
that. Yeah, I like
What's
it.
your vector, Victor?
But also you can't roller skate in a buffalo herd, which is a different word.
You can't. But you can be happy if you have mind to.
That's right. Do 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 do.
That's not how that goes. That was like a computer doing it. Like if you type the words and had Siri speak it, that's what it would sound like.
I don't know how you speak that without sounding like a computer.
Do 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 do.
For those of you in the what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Sure. If you're just tuning in, hi.
Hi. Yeah. Why am I blanking on Roger Miller's last? There you go, Roger Miller.
Yeah, Roger Miller. Yeah.
Anyway, Bonobo Pizza also does not like in your wheelhouse.
Don't like it.
Fine with that. Mouthfeel. They don't like. I also don't like that.
I fucking hate it. Mouthfeel. Mouthfeel. How's that feel in your mouth, Zach? Would you like a Kit Kat bar?
Yeah.
How is it? You'd be like tasty. And then if I said, how's the mouth feel on your Kit Kat?
How about just like I don't like the texture of raw oysters. Not like it has a phlegmy mouthfeel.
Sure.
They also don't like the phrase "it is with a heavy heart,"
Oh yeah.
which I mean, because
Guilty.
bad news always comes after that.
Yep.
It is with a heavy heart that I inform you that the mouthfeel of this particular food is not in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
They also don't like day drinking.
That's like day drinking at brunch is the worst.
Yes. And again, they don't like the phrase day drinking because, I mean, sometimes day drinking or drinking in the daytime is a lot of fun. It's like, what are you doing? Just day drinking.
Yeah, it used to be. If I were to day drink at this point, it would be because I wanted to have a terrible day the next day.
Yeah. Or I wanted to sleep through the evening without experiencing anything.
Right.
They don't like random or rando. Or also on that sando, which I assume is for sandwich.
Yep, I've said it.
Doggo and fur baby.
Don't.
I also don't like either of those.
No, fur baby especially is just like no.
Fur baby just has a gross mouthfeel. They also don't like trounch, which I don't even know what.
Tranche?
Tranche?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Well, there's a version of it that's spelled differently than the way they've put it. Tranche. I just looked it
Yeah.
up.
What's that mean?
In structured finance, a tranche or trench is one of a number of related securities offered as part of the same transaction.
I'm going to go ahead and say that tranche is short for something that we don't know about.
Probably.
That people use in a sentence, and they're younger than we are, and we don't know about it because we're old.
They also don't like Rona, which we all know that's short for, and who does like that?
I want to give a shout out to Cocktail Mary, who's a cocktail bar in Portland, who, like everybody has like open, close, deal with the whole horse shit of the pandemic. But they refer to Rona as Miss Rona.
I kind of like that.
I love it. Due to Miss Rona, he just gives her a really shitty attitude.
Exactly. Yeah, it's actually quite appropriate.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, we can does not like the phrase "a whole mood," which is apparently something that young people say. Like, that pic of Ben Affleck smoking a cig is a whole mood, or that outfit is a whole mood. Don't know it because that's probably as I said, a young person thing.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't bother me.
I also don't like it, but I assume it's going to go away soon. Tina Burnell.
I'm actually fine with it, honestly. That's a whole mood.
That's
Like,
a
you
whole
could
mood.
just walk up and just like point at a whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're like walking down the street, you and I are walking down the street being pals, and we walk by a table full of people brunching,
Ugh.
right? But there's like so much going on at the table that you can't do it. You don't have time to you don't want to stand there and be judgy, first of all. But then if there's just like a lot to take in, you could be like, oh, that's a whole mood. So I like that.
I could see it in that context, but
Like in the way that you and I have used this. Well, that just happened.
yes, see, I like that a
You
lot.
know? Yeah, so I can file it under the same usefulness. Sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
That's okay. Tina Burnell does not like "in these unprecedented times."
Sure.
Also, do not like that because it seems like everything is an unprecedented time right now.
Yeah, it's with a heavy heart in these unprecedented times.
I also don't like the way people say, she didn't say this, but I don't like the way people sometimes say precedent as president, like unprecedented.
That's right.
She also does not like Friday, which
No.
also sounds like a kid thing that's...
It's Friday.
It's just funny when you say it.
Yay.
I don't think I've heard it outside of that, though.
It's Friday. Hashtag Friday.
I assume that's going to go away at some point.
Yeah, like that rash that you've been waiting to go away.
That I've been applying ointment to. And
Lots of
there's just some sort of weird discharge secreting
Oh my
from
God, good. Phlegm.
At Main Guitars says, "I can't stand when people use optics."
See, I love that term because, like, it's comedic gold to me. Like when you like if you're like engaged in something, or you catch yourself from doing something that you think is like, oh, I want to do that, and then you're like, wait a minute, the optics on that are not great. You just like stop yourself and like walk back. It's just like I don't know. It's so, I love it.
I like that too. Like it's has definitely like an office conference room thing to it. So it's funny to say it in everyday conversation.
Yes, in the way
and
that
also,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and also when you're trying to tell somebody that what they're doing might not look so awesome.
Yep, that's great.
It's easy to just say, yeah, I don't know what the optics on that.
Yeah, or you could just say that about somebody else. Like, ooh, the optics on that weren't so great, huh? Like even, like especially if you know the backstory. Like when there are many scenarios in the world, as we know, but like oftentimes people could make like choice 1, choice 2, but then this thing happened before choice 3 that was like always part of the plan, but like it just makes it like it's like one of those like tone deaf moments. Like, ooh, optics on that didn't really look so good. So yeah, I don't agree with optics. I think it's great.
I'm with you.
At Brianna Shino Cherry, at Brianna Shino Cherry, at Brianna Shino _Cherry, Brianna Holt says tally. And I agree. And she actually accompanied this with an audio note saying the word tally. That's how she hears it in her head. Tally. And I get that. I agree. But she kind of undermined herself, Brianna Holt, who is oftentimes guest of the show, soon to be future guest. Always welcome, Brianna Holt. When describing her dislike for the word tally, she said, quote, some sort of teetotaler made up this word. I can't even see tally anymore because now I'm looking at teetotaler.
Yeah.
So you out annoyed yourself, like when the building is on fire and they throw in sticks of dynamite to explode and suck out the oxygen. Teetotaler. What?
Yeah, tally I've never had a problem with, but now I have less of a problem with because I'm just so fixated on teetotaler.
It's infuriating. At Rob Fawcett doesn't like the word pram. And I didn't honestly know what a pram was for a long time, citing my Monty Python, The Holy Grail, Knights of the Round Table, the song, the breakdown. I get to push the pram a lot, because it rhymes with Camelot. I didn't know what that meant until our friend Peter Dugas and his wife, Annie, were pushing their child around in the pram. And that's that very specific kind of like spring suspended fancy thing with the 4 wheels that are equal size, not like these new modern, tripod, whatever you call that.
Like the one that's
tricycles.
Rolling down the stairway in slow motion in the shootout scene in The Untouchables.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. The pram. That's a pram. You know what I'm talking about. It's not the modern one. And I don't like it either. Pram.
The one that George Harrison's being pushed around in the
Cracker Box Palace. Yeah. Pram.
Directed by Eric Idle.
And back to Monty Python. He likes to film the pram a lot. Yep. At Regroll doesn't like the word squat.
Gross.
I don't like the word squat either because I'm going to run over in the corner and squat and shark.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as people started saying, like, I got to pop a squat, it's gross.
Pop a squat.
Ugh.
And I'm gonna just destroy this but this handle is jbo, BEAU, jbo _Jabini or Jabini, JIBINI. Doesn't like the word swab, and I agree.
Yeah, that just makes me think of my brain being tickled.
Yeah,
which I'm not into.
Oh
these
yeah,
days.
that's the COVID. That's the thing now. Yeah, I've been swabbed in the brain.
Yeah, previous to that, I guess I just didn't really think about the word swab, but I strongly dislike it now. Makers of Maine does not like bespoke.
Yep.
And they say, random, I know. I just hate it. It is random, and I also hate it.
Bespoke. It's that voice. Bespoke.
Hibbard MF does not like drudgery. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
I'm with
Okay.
you. K. Rankin Film, shout out to York, Maine,
What's up?
does not like due diligence. As a filmmaker, you would think that K. Rankin would enjoy it when people do their due diligence so they don't fuck up those expensive scenes.
Maybe he's just heard it too many times, like in LA.
That could be.
And we're all doing our due diligence here. I'm sure everyone here did their due diligence. And you know what? It's just the picture didn't react with people.
And especially like these days where if you're on a film set, I'm guessing a lot of people have to do due diligence to make sure the proper protocols are being followed.
I would assume so.
Friend energies does not like 100% as a response. This is when other people say this as a response. Usually political wonks or folks with an X in entertainment biz.
100% on that.
Yeah, I also agree with that 100%.
100%. Use it. Guilty. I don't think that our friend energies would mix very well because you're going to hear that come out of my mouth, like not 100% of the time, but a lot.
Well, I 100% agree with you. It's an easy way. I mean, it's when I say 100% agree with you, it kind of takes the purpose out of just saying 100%. But generally, it's a good way to just say, yeah, I'm with you all the way. 100%.
100%. At Bull Moose Stores, our old friend, Bull Moose, does not like the combination of words Amazon.com.
Fair enough. I'm sure they prefer bullmoose.com, which I'm there with them.
Yes. And any independently owned business that is local.
Both of our albums can be purchased at bullmoose.com.
So many people's albums can be purchased there, from locals to famousies. At Blueberry Files does not like the word panties. Panty. I don't either.
Nope.
Most ooh words, boob, tube. Mention Tubi, I wrote. My dog, I just said my notes out loud. Tubi.
You're like an actor that reads the stage directions.
Yeah, that's right. Like, hey, go
What?
fuck
Looks
yourself,
left.
San Diego. Also, sometimes poop. So my dog's name is Tubi, and we actually call my other dog Poop. Tube and Poop. Their names are Cody and Pete. But, you know, Tube and Poop. Does not like the word slacks. I don't like that either. Don't like trousers either. Toothsome. That's right up there with mouthfeel. No, thank you. And lidded. Yep.
See, lidded is a word that, I don't know, I don't ever use, but I kind of like sometimes where you take words and add an ed to the end, like
Drinked.
or no, like, you know, just give me a second to get panted, like I'm putting my pants on.
I
That's not a good
ate all the
example.
food
But
and
like,
drinked all the drinks.
yeah, like it's in a lidded container. I'm shoed right now. I'm ready to go outside. I'm all shoed and jacketed.
I don't mind any of those. Lidded is annoying to hear you say.
Fair enough.
Not just you, but if I mean, your voice is very soothing. You're a chanteur, as the French would say, a chanteur.
That's right. The proper
So if
pronunciation.
you sang lidded, that's right. W Beaulieu does not like the word debriefing, which I like that word because it's, you know, I've used it. Like, I'll debrief you later. But it does sound like the removal of underwear.
That's right.
To
On
be
a D-shirt,
debriefed.
D-pant, debrief, D-shoe.
D-pant. D-shirt. And then what else do we have here? Oh, yeah, Portlandia _77 does not like the word vibes. Guilty. Use it all the time. Will again. 5 stars. Will be back, although there are people who use it that is like, it is annoying. So that to me is situational. When I use it, it's awesome. When other people use it, it's the worst.
A Gath Ringo Stitches or a Gathering of Stitches.
Wow.
It says, I get really annoyed when people leave the second R out of peripheral. Did you see that with your peripheral vision? No, I see. I still put the R in it, even when I'm trying to not put the R in it.
How could you say it without the second R?
Peripheral? Peripheral? I don't know.
Or is it how do you say peripheral without the peripheral? Peripheral?
I don't know. Peripheral.
That must be it. Peripheral vision.
Jake _Austin does not like circle back, as in circling back on this one. I don't know. I'm fine with that. I get more annoyed with, well, put a pin in that.
You know what one I like on that note?
Go on.
Let's just table that and we'll get back to it.
Let's table that. I like that.
I like that one.
At Lucas Desmond does not like couple 3, noon 30, or stinking cute.
Stinking cute.
Noon 30 is one that I use a lot, and now I'm nervous that Lucas Desmond is saying that he does not like that because I've said at some point, like, I don't know, noon 30? Is that a good time?
Doesn't like you is the thing.
Yeah, it might be it. I'm all self-conscious now. That is exactly what it is.
Yep. He has you on your heels, which is just where he wanted you. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
Annie Bishop 1 does not like flip the script. Agreed.
Yep.
Imadra does not like feed. And I don't know. I like being
news
fed.
feed?
I don't know. I have no problems with feed.
Or, I don't know. Feed.
But they also don't like every word associated with COVID, such as unprecedented, social distance, etc.
It's with a heavy heart.
Yeah.
In these unprecedented times, yeah.
I don't know if anybody likes that stuff. Except for maybe, no, I'm not even going to make a joke about that. I was going to say pharmaceutical companies, but that might be a sad but true.
Dude, you know they're making bank. I was on my Q website the other day.
Yeah.
Period. Space.
Imadra also doesn't like starting sentences with wait.
Wait, what? She doesn't?
Yeah. And Barnold or B. Arnold doesn't like ramp up or or
No.
Sorry. You didn't say the magic word.
At Christine Sanderson or Christine Sanderson doesn't like the word supper, or should I say supper. And I grew up over here, you know. My dad grew up in the same town I grew up in, and I will say that, if you come over for supper, why don't you come on up the road for supper? That's very nice. You want some supper? That's nice. When people from not here from the 50s use it, it is disgusting. Supper. I've never, if you write it down, you don't write it down, you say it. You write it down, S-U-P-P-E-R, you say it, supper. Supper. He's just fucking, come on up. The other day I had Timmy over for supper, and we had a really nice time. He brought a nice pie.
Is that a dying word? I feel like I don't hear that very often anymore.
Supper?
Supper.
Well, what's
or even
extra
supper.
The worst is to sup.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's almost like phlegm and moist and wet. Sup. Let's sup. Not like, hey, how you doing? Hey, sup. Not that. To sup. No, thank you. Ad Fashions Incorporated, INC, does pronunciation count because I cannot stand idea or area. I believe that's a main thing. Another one I'd throw in there is calmer. That's annoying. And that's just kind of like suppa. It's
Agreed.
It's a dialect thing. I don't know why it happens.
I also don't like that.
No. Joe Boucher, irregardless. Irregardless. That's not a word.
Yep.
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Irregardless, I invited him up to supper nonetheless.
Basically, you can disagree with me if you want. I have a phenomenal amount of intelligence and perpetuity on such subjects.
That's a main thing, too, to, like, fire in extra long, like the one vocab word that you, like, clung to.
Yeah. The 1 out of 10 that you remembered that from that week.
Phenomenal is the best one. Absolutely incredibly phenomenal.
I got a great idea. Why don't you come on over for supper? And irregardless if you can make it or not, we'll have
What's
a couple,
funny is that
couple, two,
you're,
three.
You're from here, and your main accent is
It's awful.
horrible.
Yeah.
You sound like a Chicago cop.
Wow. So,
Put your gun in your badge on my desk, irregardless.
You're reckless.
Yeah.
Irregardless, you're the best goddamn cop on the force.
Irregardless. Not a word.
No. At Lasm does not like tremendous. I liked it
speaking of
5
the
years
devil.
ago.
I liked it when Letterman said it.
Yeah. A quick glimpse does not like fire with the emoji. To that I say, hang in there. Will probably be gone in a handful of years.
Hang in there. Stay strong.
JP_cash_market does not like curated or curate. I'm fine with that.
It's for museums only. Like it
Yes.
can't. Like don't. No one at your restaurant curated anything.
Yeah. And that house music playlist was not curated by a DJ. It was just
No,
slapped
Made.
onto a
this
playlist.
is made.
It was just made. Paul Drinnan does not like Q. And they say, why English? Why?
Now
As in-
specifically, Q spelled Queue, right?
Yeah, as in your Netflix queue or I'm waiting in the queue.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, that's extra stuff.
I mean, I'm fine with it, but I don't know. I don't
But
really...
read it. It says Q. Q. I'm going to put some abundant cake in my Q.
Bunned cake waiting in the queue. Well, H.L. Livingston does not like bestie or hubby. I like bestie. I've never been called anybody's hubby, so I guess I don't like that.
I am a husband and have not been called a hubby, and I hope never to be called a hubby. I hope me being called that is not in the At Mayor Starks does not like stinking, bulge, viscous, censored language. This one's a good one. I.e., fudge, dang, gosh, phooey, H-E double hockey sticks. Yep. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yep. And on that note, the main feed, we might have a word that's dislike, someone in our list dislikes, doesn't like it when people say yucky, and new form doesn't like yummy. And I'm with you because if you're a child, you can say that, but yucky, yummy. How's your drink that you're having, Zach? How's your beverage?
Yummy.
You're a
Gosh
grown-ass
dang,
man.
Spencer. It's a yummy beverage.
Yeah, then you sound like Mr. Lundergaard from Fargo. Well, dang, nabbit. Did you have a
Misery.
thing?
I was just going to say misery, the way that Kathy Bates talks in
phooey.
Misery is all that. Yeah,
It's because she's a fucking psycho.
that's right.
And she would say Jenny Salami's word, goodness.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Did you get to work okay today? There's a lot of snow. Are you okay? My goodness. Yeah, I got to work fine. In fact, it was a little early. Okay, cool beans.
Ugh.
That's the same person. Same fucking psycho says that. That will break your ankle with a sledgehammer.
Dana Fields, 850, does not like the phrase, it is what it is. They do not like the word milk and hate saying jewelry, which I now also hate.
Jewelry.
Jewelry.
Yep.
I don't know.
Jewelry.
Yeah, I don't like
It's
it.
like like it's like there's something caught in your throat you'll never get out.
Two Rabbits says, I'm really starting to tire of people starting their sentence with look or listen.
You're going to have a really difficult 4 years.
Yeah, especially if you add, let me be clear to that list.
Look. Listen. I don't mind it when it's used in the I don't like it when people use it to be condescending. Mm-hmm. Look, that's obnoxious. But if someone's going off like about like, you know, and then you know, over here all this stuff, and then meanwhile like these people aren't doing this thing, so I can't do that. Like, look, we're not going to get it done. I don't mind it in that context. Mm-hmm. Almost like you're editing yourself. You just have to stop.
Listen, everything you just said is completely wrong.
Yeah. Listen, pal. No thanks.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Challenging. Jackie Lovell does not like the phrase, you want something to wash it down with.
Ugh. A libation?
No. What about wet the whistle?
Yeah, I mean, that gets a hall pass, but I also would be pissed if somebody else deleted it.
Laura Hamlin does not like pet peeve. 203 Metro. What we done was real quick like, and also the words milk and whip.
Orange whip.
I'm fine with pet peeve. Those strange phrases like what we done was and real quick like. I don't know. It depends on the person saying it, I guess.
Maybe they had those terms said to them by somebody that brings them discomfort.
Yeah, and also I don't know. That could be like could that be a regional thing? Do people in certain regions say, "Well, what we done was"?
I mean, that sounds like Southern speak to me.
Yeah. Although that may be
real quick.
I agree with you, but I can't tell if we're being judgy or if that's what it really sounds like.
Well, no, so we sound like we sound to people not from here, right? And then they sound like they sound. Like I remember we had a great group of friends from Knoxville, Tennessee, rather, and we would just make fun of each other's like dialects all the time because they're from the South, like decidedly. So it'd be our impression of them would be sweet tea football game. Hey, I'm gonna go over to the store, and then they'd be like, hey. Guys, we got to get over here really quick. I need some help lifting this thing up really high. Like they would just like tighten up, and because we're all like, and the conclusion I came to was they're hot all the time because it's hot in the South. Yeah. So everything takes a little bit longer to come out of their mouth because like, what's the hurry? What do you want to do? Break a sweat? Like I'm going to say the same thing whether I say it in 30 seconds or if I say it in 5 minutes, so why don't you just relax and we'll get there eventually. Meanwhile, we're like, it's freezing out. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, God damn it.
I got a great idea. Why don't you speed up the way you're talking?
Yeah, my holy crap. Get in the car. Quick. Close the door. Jesus Christ. You're letting all the heat out. God. Man, why don't you calm down?
When I lived in Boston, I had a roommate from Bergen, New Jersey, who always gave me a hard time for saying wicked, so I never say wicked anymore because of that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he actually said "use guys" when he was talking about me and my other roommate.
Use guys.
What are you guys doing?
We're having a fucking cheesesteak. It's wicked good.
It's wicked good. At the OG P. Diddy, not the fake P. Diddy that used to call himself Puff Daddy, but at OG P. Diddy, doesn't like caca.
That's a COVID caca.
How about now?
That's a COVID caca.
Well, you probably do like it.
Yeah, exactly. Because a little child saying COVID caca is a COVID cutie.
Totally.
At Baker Hood, it is what it is, or agree to disagree. It is what it is. I'm fine with because whatever, it's a fact. It is what it is. Agree to disagree, I don't like because we haven't made any progress.
Well, I do like it because sometimes you just have to agree to disagree. And I don't know of another better term for that.
Yeah, but it's like surrendering a conversation, which I guess is fine if you desperately need to get out of the conversation. But it's just
it's better than arguing.
That is true.
Especially if you're not going to if you're just not going to come to a conclusion, If you're not going to see eye to eye, why prolong it? Agree. Okay.
But if it
Agree
is
to
what it
disagree.
is, and you're still disagreeing with that, I'm having a hard time agreeing to disagree.
At making sausage, making underscore sausage said escutcheon. Gross.
Word I never heard before.
Escutcheon. Yeah, me either. So I looked it up. Escutcheon. Definition 1, a defined area on which armorial bearings are displayed, which usually consists of a shield. A protective or ornamental plate or flange, a word I don't like, is in around a keyhole, which just sounds like a cross between a-hole and pee-hole.
Or a bunt hole.
In a butthole, buthole. The part of a ship's stern on which the name is displayed. These are all very... So, escutcheon, it's a snooty word,
Yeah.
and it looks gross. The way it looks, the way it sounds. Yeah, that's a bad word. So thank you. At Megan underscore sausage.
So it's like a coat of arms. Is that like their first one? Like,
That's my guess. Yeah.
and then like a nameplate
Sure.
in the area around. Okay, whatever. yeah.
Maybe we could walk into like a Walmart, and when somebody comes up, like, hold on just a moment. Let me get a good view of your escutcheon. Who is that? Doris, how are you today? Thank you so much. Anywho, the name displayed on your employment escutcheon. So we had a few. We're leading up to a number one shittiest word, which is generally agreed upon, and I was not surprised that so many people reached out about that word. But as we move on, we have a few more that more than one person said, which is true earlier, but we're not that good. We don't have an intern, so deal. But at
We have a self-aware
Hebert-
AI, but it seems to be not taking on any duties.
That's right.
Hey, SAZETU, can you just like chill in the background, not do anything?
No problem.
Thanks. At Hebert L or JL5 and Ali V13 don't like starting sentences with the word so. So. That's the same as wait, right?
And also listen and look in a way.
At open.window.art and at Colin Colmar don't like the word wipe.
Gross.
Wipe. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's gross.
Colin said, the word wipe grosses me out for some reason.
Because it's never used in a good
I
situation.
wonder why. At Sabrina Shankman and at Ryan F. L80 or Ryan F. 180. Adulting. Just like big deal. You did your taxes. Congratulations. What do you want, an award? Fucking medal. I'm adulting. Adulting that. It's like, you think that people from like the pre-boomer generation, like the World War II, the greatest quote generation, you think they wanted to be feeding the hogs? Like, no. They'd rather sit around and brunch too.
I think that there is sort of like a crossroads of life, though, where all of a sudden you find yourself adulting. You know, there's like...
Yeah, but it's called being mature. You've matured.
Yeah, it's like adult puberty.
It's like day drinking. I don't day drink anymore. I could.
Yeah.
But if at this age, I'd just be a full-blown alcoholic if I day drank on the regs. It's just like I used to. But like, yeah, you're younger, like, go bananas. But then don't spend your 20s and 30s day drinking and then be like, oh, I'm adulting. Oh, you're just paying your bills? Congratulations.
Oh, you went to work on Monday after day drinking Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have had that feeling, you know, and feeling like just like imposed upon for having to like deal with the harsh realities. I just didn't have the term adulting to apply to it, and I'm very glad.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying. Do you want to take us home here, Zajo?
Yeah, well, so we have, this one was on your list. I can't remember if you said it up front, but Bonnie Durham.
I did not.
Photography and also Blueberry Files do not like panties. Which panties, I agree with. Just call it underwear, panties, something like that.
Shorts.
And that pretty much that brings us to the word that I think the whole world hates.
Yeah.
And specifically, we have Hatrick Podgkins, our old friend and bandmate, Andrew M. Volk, Nabe-tastic, again, Blueberry Files, and Imadra, and
Jeff Fournier.
Jeff Fournier.
Oh,
Fournier. They, as well as us and the rest of the world, do not like moist.
Patrick said, moist is the worst word in the history of the English language.
And our good friend Andrew says, shout out to all the haters of the word moist, which is the world. So shout out to everybody.
I don't know anybody who's stepped up in defense of moist.
No.
But, well, there you have it. There's some annoying words.
Yep.
Well, Zejo, thank you.
Sponsor, SAZETU. We done did it.
Great.
We'll see you next time. SAZETU, can you shut it down?
Just hold it. Just hold it. Just hold it.
Creepy.
SAZETU is brought to you by Maine Spirits. Learn more about the spirits we bring into the state of Maine at mainspirits.com and what to do with them by downloading their app for your smartphone or visit them on Instagram at Maine_spirits. Promotional consideration provided by State Theater Portland. Learn more at statetheaterportland.com and Sun Tiki Studios. Learn more at suntikistudios.com.